Hello and welcome to my Node.js tutorial. Today we'll be looking at Node.js fundamentals and how you can use it to build a server. So what is Node.js? Node.js is an open source and cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. It is a popular tool for almost any kind of project. So what should you know? You need to understand JavaScript. You need to understand HTML and CSS. ES6, good knowledge of ES6 and beyond will actually be very, very beneficial. But no prior server experience is needed, though, to be an added advantage. Uh, so, how do you install Node.js on your laptop? Just go to nodejs.org and click on the LTS version on Windows or Mac. But I will most likely I usually recommend an NVM, which is Node Version Manager. It allows you to have multiple versions of Node.js and installed on your laptop. Okay, so how do you ensure? Let's be sure that we have Node.js installed properly on our laptop. So I'll say Node V, like that's Node version. It tells you it outputs your Node version. I can also say npm-v. That's to check the current version of the npm. So npm is like a Node package manager that help you to install packages in your Node.js. We'll talk about this shortly. Um, let's build a simple Node.js application. So basically, Node.js can run basically any JavaScript code normally. So far, it doesn't have an environment-specific code that's not available in Node.js environment, like the window and the document um, object. So I'll go ahead and create a new file and call it index.js. My index.js, I'll just say console.log hello world. Okay. Now, when I run this, I can run this with node index.js or I use node index without the JavaScript, the JS extension, and that works. So we can also use npm scripts to run our Node.js application. So that's take me to initializing a Node.js application, our Node.js app. So how do I initialize? I run npm init-y, and that generates a package.json, a configuration file that explains how our code should run, what dependencies we use, and many other fibs. So to run my application, I'll just add a new script. I'll call it start. And my start script, basically, we just run node index, just like we're running it down here. So I would say npm start, and you'll see that the app will run perfectly, which is the Node.js, hello world in the console. So how do we initialize the Node app? We said we run npm init-y, and then we run our npm start because the start script now exists in our package.json. Now let's go ahead and we need to understand two concepts. One is modules, and the second one is callback. So basically, since you understand JavaScript, I will create a simple mathematics module. So I'll call this math.js, and this is commonly what you understand, which is I say const add equals a comma b, which is an arrow function that returns a plus b. I'm going to duplicate this to save time in 4 places. And this will be, the second one will be subtract. Subtract. That's a minus b. And then we have multiply. That's a multiply a times b. And then we have divide, which is a divided by b. Okay. Now, this if we need to use these mathematical functions in another file, all we need to do is to say module.exports equals an object that has add, subtract, multiply. Okay, it's multiply, not multiply. Okay, and then divide. Okay. Now in my index.js, I can simply bring this in by using the require module. So I will say require math, or math. This stands for math.js. Just like we don't have to state .js when we are saying node index. So that will also work here. So here I can just simply say add. You can see now I can import. I can bring in my add. I can bring in subtract. I can bring in multiply. I can bring in divide from here, and I can use any of this in my application. I can simply say something like console.log add 5 and 3, and definitely I'm sure that I'll get 8 logged in the console, like so. I get 8 in the console. So that is how to use modules. We'll look at this more extensively while we're building our app. Another thing I need to show you, I need to explain, or I need to talk about, is a callback. So what's a callback? A callback is an anonymous function that has no name, and it's meant to run after a certain function finishes its execution. So we'll be looking at that in the next thing that we want to do right now, which is building a simple server. Now, to build a simple server, all we need to do is to bring in the HTTP module. So I say HTTP equals require HTTP. Now, this is an inbuilt module. We don't have to write the code anywhere. It has been written. It comes out of the box with Node.js. And the HTTP module is meant for building the server and handling server applications. So let's go ahead and create a server. I say const server equals HTTP dot create server. So this is create a server instance, and basically this is expect a request, and in return it gives a response. So this is a callback now, because this create server creates a callback that okay, immediately you create a server listing for any request, and then give us a response. How do we return a response when you get the request? I say res, that is response dot write head, status code of 200, and then content type is text slash plain. Okay, and then we say rest dot write hello world. Okay, and we say rest.end. Rest.end is to close the server, because right now the server is open. It's first it wrote an error, and then it also writes hello world to the client. Now we need to close the server, because if not, it will just keep loading and trying to fetch, because it feels the server is yet to be the server is not yet done sending response. Now the next thing we want to do is to expose this server to a particular port. I'll say server.listing to port 4000, comma, a callback, which says log server is running on port 4000. So if we go ahead and run this, we have npm start, and then we should get server running on port 4000. So I'll go ahead and test this in my browser. I will go to localhost, okay, 4000, and I should get hello world sent back to me in the browser. So that's a simple web server.